Life. Okay.
That's not until then we check my infection, like CT scan that's just to make sure
So you can see how I get it done. I'm gonna run this Instagram live from this one, Facebook live right here. So we'll give you a little bit of a tour. Here, it's Abby. She's our host today, and then we'll be getting going. Do you want to shoot? Should we get going? Do you want to start it up?
Start it up.
So let's just put it on the counter, facing the marathon endurance sign. That way we don't get these patrons inside our video. We are live. It gives people the time. What's up, KT? All right. So. Boom. Ooh, there we go. That looks good.
Look at all these shoes back here. We donate those. We donate them to the neighbor's place. We donate them to, we brought like 6 suitcases to Africa. We donate tons of shoes. So if you have old shoes that still have some life left in them, bring them to us. We can find them and send them home. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was cool.
Yeah. I do have some. I have 2 pairs that are just hanging out because they're no more mileage.
Yes.
You know, I've excused the mileage.
Yeah.
Because you can feel like on the, it's all about like feel. If I feel like my knee's a little bit absorbing too much on the run, then I'm like, dude, new shoes time.
I love new shoes time.
Yeah.
The
It's
best
good.
day.
Well, and it also means that, hey, I put in some miles on these treads, right? All right. So everybody, we are grateful to be here with Abby over here at Marathon Endurance. So thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
And so, of course, you guys all recognize Carrie Ann.
Hello.
So what we were talking about today is that we want to talk about like storytelling, not story selling. And so the idea here is, if let's say you had a shop just like Abby, where you're selling product, how would you be able to showcase to other people? We thought in a video format would be the best one, right? Mm-hmm. And so when Carrie and I were brainstorming this, she's like, well, this is perfect. Gotta get a new pair of shoes. So we thought we'd take it through the process. So Abby's gonna be nice enough to take us through as if we're going to, well, you do need to
I'm buying shoes today.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then so think of it like you would press record the moment that you start talking through some of these things. And of course gotta get a customer that's totally open to you being able to walk and feel a video. But I think you can be able to showcase exactly the value that you bring to the table within 2 to 3 minutes. So let's jump right in.
Let's do it. Perfect.
Okay.
Can I tell you our story?
Yes.
Quick? Okay. So we started just out of a need. I used to drive to Minneapolis to get shoes, and my husband would drive to Madison, and we thought that was bonkers. Because if we can't get shoes, that means the rest of you as our community can't get them either. And so we just realized that there was a need for someone to be able to tell you the right shoe for you. So we drew it up on the back side of a sheet of Christmas wrapping paper on our living room floor. We still have that piece of paper. And so we started in 2014, and we do gait analysis to find the right shoe for you, and Carrie's gracious enough to do it with us. So let's try it out.
Awesome.
All right.
Hi Laura. Let's go here.
I've got my first pair on.
Okay.
So
So I'm gonna transport everybody. Let's go.
okay.
We're gonna go to here to treadmill.
I think I hear a sticker up your shoe. Hold up. Perfect. Okay. So I'm gonna have you jump up here. Okay.
And I'm gonna get from this angle. Hopefully,
Perfect.
this looks good.
Okay.
All right.
I brought my scrunchie.
Yes. Love that. All right. So we're just going to have you run at a comfortable pace. It doesn't have to be sprinting, doesn't have to be walking, whatever's comfortable for you. And we only need about 6 seconds of video. So you don't have to be on here forever. I'm going to be back at the camera, videoing you, and then we'll put it in slow motion and take a look and see what it looks like.
Cool.
Sound good? Awesome.
Let's do it.
So I'm just going to bump you up to something comfortable. You let me know if it's too fast or too slow. If you're ever uncomfortable, you just hit the stop.
So Karen was prepared. She wore some looser clothing for the run here. Yeah. You'd definitely be walking then. So you guys might have noticed, but what Abby did is she rolled up Carrie Ann's pant leg so that way she could see her ankle as it was moving through. So we're going to go over to the video.
Follow me. We're going to look and see.
Okay. So I'm gonna flip it around, guys, so I can show you.
So oftentimes we do this with someone with bare feet, but Carrie already has shoes on. We can still tell what's going on here. So this is you in real time here, and then we put you in slow motion. And once we put it in slow motion, the effects of how Carrie's running are more dramatic, and that helps us determine what she needs. So if we have you in slow motion here, we really want to look at your ankle. So if we pause, we pull back over here, you can see when you strike, we stop right there, and we can see that you are a little bit of a pronator, pulling through on that right side.
So that means my ankle's going inward.
Your ankle falls in a little bit, and that's what we want to protect. And then by protecting that, we can protect your knees and your hips and pain, save you some possible injuries. So we want to make sure we get you in a shoe that's going to help with that. We also want to see where you're striking. So if we have right there, we want to draw a straight line down from your sit bone.
So just know, Laura says she buys every pair of running shoes from Marathon Endurance.
Thanks, Laura.
And she loves the fun runs.
Perfect.
Cool.
So we can see that you are striking pretty evenly and straight. That's a great thing. When we see someone who angles, that means that their glutes are probably weaker. So well done, Carrie Ann, on your strength training.
Got those glutes, you know.
Props for that. Let's take a look at the other side. Looks pretty good. Beautiful.
Cool.
Carrie Ann is dominating her strength training. That's what we're finding out.
Awesome.
So one of the other things we're going to look at is your kick height on each leg to see that you're kicking around the same height, which you are. That means we don't have any crazy hamstring tightness or imbalances going on there. So
Okay,
good flexibility as well. Props to Carrie. And then where you're toeing off. So we want to look and see, you want to toe off between your big and second toe. And we do have shoes on, which makes it a little trickier, but beautiful. Left side and right side. Awesome. So what this told us is that Carrie Ann pronates a little bit. We want to make sure and find a shoe that's going to give her some of that stability. But overall, her gait looks good, and so it gives us a lot of options. So let's try on some shoes.
Let's do it.
All right.
Awesome.
So John, you want to hold this real quick? I'm going to go get the Facebook laptop.
We can do it here if we want. I'll grab them.
You run like a girl.
Hey, thanks, John.
So what they did is recorded for about 6 seconds of Carrie Ann running on the treadmill, and then came here to the laptop, and we're then able to Abby took through basically a slow motion of video recording of her run is focused on her ankles and her knee, basically from the hip down to just see how overall run was going, and then I was going to be able to then suggest shoes based on her running style. So again, as you're thinking about creating a video matching that story that you want to be able to tell, you don't need to necessarily narrate what's anything beyond what's actually happening. So in a sense, you're almost journaling what's happening or documenting how she's helping a customer, who happens to be Carrie Ann, through this process of buying shoes. So it's not just about buying a shoe. There's a process here.
And it's really an experience, you know. So now, like, I mean, this is really neat. I will remember this, you know, just the dedicated, you know, direct support, because I don't know anything about shoes. You know, I don't.
Right.
I need a professional because I don't know anything about shoes. So.
And our favorite part, honestly,
Thanks, buddy.
is finding out people's stories, because everyone comes for a different reason. Some people come because they want to lose weight. Other people come because they have a goal to run a 5K, and that is my favorite part, because selling shoes is just shoes. It wouldn't matter if it was just shoes, but people matter. So finding out people's stories is by far the best thing that we get to do.
So how do you keep up to date, Abby, for you, and knowing which shoes are going to be ideal? You talked about a little bit about pronating.
Mm-hmm.
How do you kind of keep up with that?
Our reps come in. So the companies have reps that are dedicated to the research in their shoes, and they come in pretty frequently and then give us training. So we do some of our own research and reading, but our reps are great at informing us, so we are on the top of that. So.
And the nice thing is that Abby and her husband, Steve, both are big runners. Yep. So they keep up to date with kind of what's going on. Abby was just telling us she actually coaches girls track, right?
I do, yeah.
And so she'll be going off to meet after this, and then that helps you kind of keep in touch with what's going on, what people need, and what's going well.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, we get feedback that way.
Okay.
Love it. All right, so Karen, this shoe, the first shoe, your A6 Kino, had more support. This one has a little bit less, but more cushion. So why don't we see how these feel?
So, okay, can you explain, like, so that has more support, this has more cushion?
Yep.
So cushion is not supportive?
So this shoe has a trussic system, so it doesn't allow your ankle to roll in. So when your ankle wants to fall in, it's hitting this harder piece here and keeping you up and more stable.
So this would be good for a pronator.
Yes,
yeah.
This is going to be probably a better shoe for you, but I want to just see what your preference on feel and fit is compared to the Brooks Ghost.
Yeah, this right on the bed of my foot, like right here, where it starts. This has more of a curve to it by the toe. I can feel that. It feels a little bit thicker. Well, maybe because that's where you're right.
You're striking.
You're striking there. It feels thicker and then gets thinner there. I would say I like this one better than.
Okay. Awesome. That helps just to be able to feel them out and then rule out which ones you like and which ones you don't. Okay, so let's try something that's quite a bit different. Let's see how the Clifton feels for you. So this shoe is going to have a lot of cushion underneath, but it's super lightweight. So it's a little bit deceiving. It looks like it's heavy, but it's not. It's actually really lightweight, but it has a pretty solid arch. So
this is nice.
Let's see what you think.
You're liking that, huh? Is it called Hoka?
It is.
I think it probably needs a 7, but
you might.
So that's that brand right there,
yeah.
Hoka. So again, this is another way that you can show respect to your vendors by talking about them as you're educating someone in a video. So again, we're going through a little bit longer of a process. You can obviously cut the video and edit it as you kind of walk through these things, but it's a great way to be able to tag businesses on a video, something like this.
This is my favorite so far. This Hoka Clifton 4. This is like, this feels great.
They look comfortable on you.
I mean,
by looking at
it's you know, it looks like a bulkier shoe, but it doesn't feel like it at all. It just feels like, I feel like just on how my foot is sinking into it, that my knees would be really protected too with this. Like there's a lot of cushion. Is it cushion here?
Yeah, so it's made out of an EVA foam. So that's what makes it super light, but a ton of cushion underneath. Oh. So it absorbs a lot of that impact, especially when you're running. They're great for running or walking, but especially if you're running. A lot of runners love them because it kind of feels like you're running on clouds.
I like this one the best.
I thought you might. Yeah. The arch support is, they beefed it up in that one.
Nice. This is probably the nicest running shoe I think I've ever tried on.
Do you want to try running in it?
It's amazing. Yeah.
I will.
Let's lace them up.
Yeah,
try it.
Okay. So as Carrie Ann's lacing them up, I'll kind of, again, talk through a little bit about the ideas here, the principles that we're kind of going through. So whenever you're taking a video content, you might get a longer piece of material, and then what you can do is you can edit it. So a lot of times, you can use iMovie, you can use YouTube has a video, and there's tons of apps. If you go to your app store to be able to then edit the video. So you're basically taking that piece of content and then cutting it down so that way you can have it in a little bit more of a manageable piece and only highlighting those things that you want to be able to show. And so as we go over here, what we're doing is then checking back in with the product and saying, okay, how's it feeling? What's the enjoyment out of it? And so again, you're kind of connecting those dots for someone that wants to be able to know what it's going to be like, maybe coming into your store, buying the product, getting a feel for it. So now we can see the experience here without having to resell it. So it's a pretty impactful process. And so think about any product or service that you are offering to the world, whether it's a piece of clothing, whether it's a service of accounting. You want to be able to showcase to people what you're doing. That can be really, really powerful. So as she's basically has, when you have a product, the nice thing is that you can actually take people through the conversation and say, okay, this is what's working well. This is how it can be impactful. So let's go over here as she walks Carrie Ann through the analysis.
All right. So this looks like this could be a good shoe for you because we still have you striping straight. You are toeing off well. Your gait looks natural here, and then if we slow you down a little bit, we still have that good protection for your pronation there. So this could be an option if you like it.
Yeah, I do like it. This
Awesome.
is one I like.
Is that your shoe today, Carrie?
Yeah, it's my shoe.
All right.
Found it.
Yeah,
Bam.
Just like that.
That feels
Easy.
great.
This is nice. I like hookahs too. I've tried in the past.
Oh, you have? Okay.
I have tried a hookah before, but I've not ever tried this one. This is great.
And so
I've tried Asics. I've tried Brooks in the past. But this just feels like, and I like doing long distance running, and I plan on doing a half marathon in the fall.
That's a lot of running.
So these are great.
And I would encourage people, I often get the question of, what's the best shoe? What is the best shoe on the wall? I can tell you there's not a best shoe. We only carry high-end running shoes for the purpose of they're all great shoes. And Carrie might love this shoe, but I might have a different preference. And Sherman might have his preference. We all might have a different preference. So I would encourage you to just have an open mind when you come try them on because you might be surprised.
Awesome, thanks. So if we were to just cut the video there, then you're able to then see exactly kind of how the process works. You want to carry this real quick? It's facing towards you, by the way.
Oh.
Right at it's right at your face.
Okay. Can
Okay.
I turn it around?
So
Look at that pretty girl.
that's right. Thanks, John. Okay. So did you wanna put this down? We can chat a little bit about how you would want to continue to storytell within the facility. You got it? Okay.
Okay.
Do you just want to put it? You want to put it down here? I think that's a good spot, like the counter.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
So one of the things I like about a store, unlike just doing things online, is that you have an opportunity to like show people space, right? And so not only can you think about some of the stuff that you have hosting wise, the reality is that you have almost an unlimited source of content from a post perspective. You could, if you wanted to, take a photo of every single shoe in here, and you could talk about those that are ideally set for a particular like distance or a particular pronation or however like the run is, and so you could almost do a theme of okay, hey, these shoes seem to be ideal to people that are suffering from this ailment. I think a lot of times people that don't run or because it's painful, it's because they have a crappy shoe. Right? They bought some piece of crap.
Or they've been running in the same shoe for
Yes.
way too long. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but a lot of times I think people just don't know that, huh, Abby?
Yeah,
And so they come in
for
here and
sure.
they're wearing like a cross training shoe, and they want to go run a half marathon, and you're like, it's not going to give you what you need.
Which is a good point. Like, so Abby, how do you know when your shoes kick in the bucket?
Sure, yeah, that's a great question, and we get that one a lot. So part of it is by feel. So if you are noticing your knees hurt and things just don't feel quite as nice as they were before, that's one indication for sure. Another one is by the tread on the bottom. So if you see that the tread is worn smooth, then that's a good clue. Also, if it's worn unevenly. So some of us hit our heel really hard. That's called a heel strike. So it might be that most of your shoe looks great and brand new, but if your heel is totally shaved off, it still means it's going to throw off your gait. So one of the things that we encourage people to do is come in and we'll take a look at them. We've sent many people out the door and said, keep running. There's no point in buying a new shoe or spending more money if you've got miles left. So we'd be glad to help you out and let you know if you've still got time.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's talk a little bit about something unique that you guys do, and that you guys do events. Can you talk a little bit about the events that you guys do? Because I think that's another way to leverage social media from a marketing perspective.
Yeah, so we end up doing a lot of fun, kind of, I guess you could call them fun runs, things that just bring people together. Because there's a lot of competitive things you can do in the community, and we love that. And we are not against that at all. We think that's great. But we think that there's a place for that, and there's also a place for just community and getting to know each other. So every Thursday we do group runs right here from the store at 6 p.m. And then we'll do like poker runs, so we'll put playing cards at different businesses. So you run to each business, and then the best hand wins, the worst hand wins. Okay. We do a lot of fun things just to get people active and families involved. So it's not competitive, they're not timed, they're just to enjoy.
Who leads the runs on Thursdays?
On Thursdays it rotates. Sometimes our manager Mark, sitting right behind the desk. Hey Mark.
Hey Mark.
We'll flip over to Mark. Get him on the live session.
Mark is great. We love Mark. So sometimes it's Mark, myself, Brian, Steve. There's only 4 of us, but we just vary on what pace people want to run. Some people want to run a little bit longer. Some want to run shorter. Some people want to walk. That's great. As long as you just want to be active and enjoy, we're up for it.
And so how do you let people know about the events?
Sure. So if you visit our website, we have it on our calendar. We also post on Facebook quite a bit. We have an Instagram account. So those are probably Facebook and Instagram are our 2 main social media accounts that you'll find our stuff.
And you can't notice, but here I'll show you guys. You can see on the wall of some of the passing that they've done here. There's the poker run that she was referencing, and also the Halloween run. So there's just different ways. Remember, it doesn't always have to be social media when it comes to marketing. You can even do flyers. Old school flyers sometimes work on people's windshields. Just don't do it when it rains, because then it's just you just threw money away. Okay.
We do. I should say our pub runs. We have pub runs that occur, and we actually did. We did little flyers that people took, and they loved them. So we do pub runs that will go to a local bar or pub, and then it's just running from there. So just a couple miles, we come back, and then we offer the first round of drinks. It's on us. So just another way to meet people and have a good time.
And network with, like-minded people who have the same interests, which is nice. And sometimes that's hard to find. Like, my husband was just telling me this last week. He's like, I want to find someone to run with. No offense, Carrie Ann, because you don't want to run with me. But and he's like, I wish like I could find some people to run with. Like this would be great for him. Maybe to find someone that can run at his pace, because I can't. That might be something where he would dig that, and then find other friends too doing the same thing. So that's a really great idea.
Absolutely.
Build out the community.
Bringing people together, yeah.
And I was just noticing right behind Mark here, they have a board that has the upcoming events. They have the dates there, and so you can know what's going on. So again, another way to use your space for a way that's really meaningful, be able to help people see kind of what's going on. Okay. So one of the things that we talked about at the very beginning that I don't know if a lot of you saw was, I'm going to show the bin here. These old shoes.
Yeah.
These aren't just Steve and Abby's shoes, by the way, that they go through them like crazy. Nor are they poor quality shoes that just made it to this bin. But why don't you tell us a little bit about this bin, Abby?
Yeah, so this shoe bin stemmed from me coming home from college and finding that I had all of my old high school track shoes, and they had miles left in them. I wasn't going to necessarily run in them anymore, but they were still great shoes, and I felt really bad throwing them away. So I decided that when we opened the store, we needed to do something with shoes like that, because runners have loads of those shoes sitting in their closet. So we started a bin that we would give to the neighbor's place, or we've had physical therapists come to us and say, I have a patient who can't afford a new pair of shoes. Do you have anything? We give them away to all kinds of people. We've brought them overseas. So if you have shoes left, we would love to take them. They just need to have some life left in them. And it's expanded from just running shoes to, we've had steel toe boots, we've had little baby booties, we've had it all. So we'll take them.
That's awesome. Plus, baby booties usually last a long time. They don't get a lot of tread. Okay, so for those of you that aren't in the space, so one of the cool things that Facebook does is they have a 360 photography, right? So you don't need to get a 360 camera anymore. You can just get it and just set it up. So what I would say for a lot of businesses that have some products that they have on the wall and they want to be able to show their space is get that 360 out and just take a nice video, nice photo, and be able to showcase people that way they can kind of get a feel of what it'd be like to come inside and feel very comfortable. Not that everybody's agoraphobic, but just get people comfortable with your space, and that way for them, it's like they've been there before, right? There's just that familiarity with video. So the other thing that we wanted to do when we talked to Abby about getting together was there's some awesome stuff like these things. You might see these things, right? They have these crazy bars, they have these crazy sneaky snacks. So when you're going for your run, and they did a little pick-me-up, right? This is what you can do. So what we wanted to do was, let's do some taste testing. And again, just another video to have fun with it, because I think sometimes we overthink what we want to put out there, right?
Do you have your headband?
I totally forgot it, but I totally forgot my headband. I should have totally brought it. But yes, you got to have fun when doing something like this.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, was there anything in particular that you wanted to try out?
I mean, we can try any of them, but
Yes.
I thought we were two fun flavors. We have some goo packets here, salted watermelon and toasted marshmallow. Salted watermelon is definitely a favorite of people, so I thought we'll see what you guys think.
Okay.
Yes.
And toasted marshmallow is just fun. I mean, come on. So, got some spoons. Let's try it.
Let's do it.
All right. Here's our packets.
Okay.
So again, this is another way to be able to, since Abby, they work with a lot of vendors, and they come in, they can just show respect and just tag them in on it. Maybe even if they know the rep's name, and again, tag them on Facebook or Instagram. This is another way to be able to just connect with your vendors and really just show that respect to them, and it's a good way to kind of recognize them. So it's just a lot of fun.
There's so many products in here.
There is.
You'd have like endless content.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which, by the way, for those of you that are local, or if not, if you want to buy some features, it's 3 for 1. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Lifetime guarantee socks.
They are.
And that's insane to me. That's insane.
So shout out to Becca's being next door. They're awesome and just provided us with their spoons. love being next to a good restaurant.
Yeah.
So here you are. Here's your spoon. Let's load you up. See what you think of these flavors.
This is gonna make me feel really fast.
It is. You're gonna go run on the treadmill.
You're gonna pee out of there, kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Here's some salted watermelon. Whoa, there we go.
This is a good
Coming
one.
your way.
This is, what is it called? Goo?
Goo.
G-U.
Yep. Goo. So it's
Okay.
just another form of energy and sugar when you're running low on your
Okay,
run.
cheers. Let's do this. Okay, here we go.
And the verdict is.
So it totally is goo. It's got a thick texture to it. Almost like it feels almost like a syrup.
Yes. It is salty. Yeah, I mean I think it's an attractive taste though.
Yeah, and so for watermelon, this is not too sweet, which is nice. For me, like I don't want too much of a sugar when I'm running, right? I don't think there's anything worse than getting too excited. The next thing you know, you're crashing, you're running out of energy, right?
Yeah, but speaking of like sugar, I'm just thinking like, I mean, doesn't Steve like eat a bunch of Twinkies and like weird stuff? Weird.
Steve eats Twinkies?
Like as he's running.
That's amazing.
So everyone has their own thing. Some people
Like
love
Mountain Dew and weird stuff.
some people love
Donuts.
Mountain Dew and Krieger's donuts. Others like things that are packaged in this form. So honestly, that's actually a great point. So nutrition, people also think is like a specific science and it's a formula. It's totally not. It's all an experiment because goo might work great for Carrie Ann and might be horrible for me. So it's totally an experiment. So
do you take a goo before you run, while you're running? Like, what is the idea?
So that's a great point. I just ripped it off on the back here. I don't know if I can show you. Right on the back of the goo, it gives you a little hint, and it says 5 before every 45. So 5 minutes before you go to run, and then every 45 minutes. So if you're doing a shorter run, if you're running around your neighborhood, you probably don't need it. Most of us have eaten throughout the day, and we're fine. But if you're training for longer events, you might really want to have one of these with you, especially like half marathon, something like that. So every 45 minutes in between,
Okay.
take one.
That's awesome.
All right, who's ready for toasted marshmallow?
Let's do it, yeah.
Try it.
No water today cleanse
That's
my
just a-
palate. I forgot it.
Oh yeah.
We have water bottles, many of them. We can hook you up.
So this is toasted watermelon. Let's do
Okay,
this.
cheers.
Toasted marshmallow.
Marshmallow. Toasted watermelon. How's that even possible? I don't know what I'm coming up with here. Okay, here, let's do this.
We've got silence.
Ooh,
We're
it's
not-
got kind of a caramel flavor to me on that one.
Yeah. I was gonna say I thought like I tasted cupcake.
Oh.
Yes, I get it right there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the sweetness isn't too overpowering, which is nice. The liquid form of that one was a little bit more smooth and going down.
It certainly
the
causes
watermelon
a lot of
stick.
saliva to all of a sudden appear in your mouth.
Okay, I want you to actually try one more. I'm gonna grab. I didn't think of it. I'm gonna grab
Okay.
one more.
Did you notice that? It's like
Yeah. So this is fun
which
thing.
is helpful in getting it down because
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
quite gooey.
You do need it. Yeah, they were not joking with the name goo. So the one thing to think about when you do something like this is that you're giving anticipation for people to want to watch, right? So if you were to just do this,
Yeah.
Abby and Steve were to just do this once a week and just talk about different things that they do or they consume in order to get, in order to stay fit while you're going for those longer workouts. Is these are a great way to be able to then. People will anticipate, hey, what flavors are we going to use on this Friday?
Right.
Or maybe it's a way that you can ask people, hey, what flavors should we be trying out? Or do you guys have products? And so you're getting the community to start evolving
And then-
on that content.
Yeah. And then you could even do like, poll, like, has anyone else tried the marshmallow? Like, did you like it? And incorporate the polls too,
Yep.
which is fun because it creates engagement and gets
Absolutely.
people to participate. So
Polls are, there's a lot of good interaction on those.
yeah, I
All
like
right.
doing it.
Last flavor. This is Huma Gel, so different brand than the goo. This one's a little bit more natural. Some people like it because of that. I also love it because it legit tastes like jam. Have you had chia seeds? You know what chia
Yeah.
There's chia seeds in here, so it tastes like you're eating a jam. So let's see. This is a strawberry.
I like jam.
Okay. Jam's good.
I also
Mark
like
actually-
to jam.
Mark actually makes like peanut butter and Huma sandwiches. This is like his
That's his
literal
go-to.
jam.
She just took this out of Mark's lunchbox.
Okay, here we go.
Cheers. Let's go this. This is strawberry.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That is
That is
jammy.
and that's a very concentrated form
It's a concentrated
of
form.
strawberry. And the chia seeds, you can totally, it's got a texture to it, right? So the
It
goo
reminds me of
was very smooth.
the natural fruit roll-ups.
Yes, that's a
The
really
natural
good.
Yes.
Roll up. I
Yes.
didn't even know these existed.
Yeah, like the organic
Yeah.
fruit roll-ups.
It's
that
like
they're like a little bit thicker. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
the Amish people.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
the
saying? Like,
fruit strip.
yeah, the fruit
Oh
strips.
yeah.
Yeah, imagine you melt that down. That's
This
what
is
it
what it
was.
would be.
Yeah, because there's definitely a texture to it. You could feel it in your mouth. And so the one thing just to know is that all these things, it's not just for running. These can be taken for any kind of workout that's you're doing it longer than, let's say, 20 minutes.
Absolutely. If you're doing triathlon, maybe even swimming, whatever it is, and endurance.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you need that energy, right?
These were all
That's good.
good though. Like I don't remember. I've tried these like a few years ago when I was doing a lot of half marathons. I think in 2014 I did like 4 of them. But I would try. But I don't remember them being like this is pleasantly surprisingly good. I was a little nervous because I don't remember them being that way. But maybe
Yes.
They come out with new flavors all the time.
Okay.
And then they definitely have changed the recipes that way. Remember the old protein bars that is chalky, you just force it down. They're now, it's much more palatable.
Appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for those of you that, again, that have product that's to be tasted, this is a great way to be able to just showcase, okay, hey, here's the different things that we have. And if you're not comfortable with the camera, then maybe one of the workers, employees is comfortable, and you could be the person behind the screen and just ask them for their input. They don't need to be a pastry chef or like a gourmet super tongue of taste. It could just be just an average Joe that just says, yeah, I like this one, or this tastes weird.
Yeah.
But definitely this was this toasted marshmallow was
Good.
for me. I liked it.
Yeah,
Now
I like
I'd call it smooth caramel.
Yeah.
That's what I would call it. But again, maybe I need some more taste to taste the marshmallow.
We
in
can
there.
contact them and see if they'll rename it for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sherm says.
The next thing we know, Sherm's gonna have some goo named after himself.
We should. Why not? So the last thing that I would say for some businesses, if you have good relationships with your vendors, is you can always have your own brand, right? So think of it like going to the grocery store. They have Kroger's own brand. You go to Walmart, it's the Great Value. IGA has their own. For those of you that are in big cities, that's called an independent grocery association. They don't know what that is in big cities. They've never heard of it. So it's the idea of like having your own private label. And so sometimes vendors are so let's say Goo, they might be totally open to putting your name for on it, and because they might be a lot of times companies, they don't just produce it under their own name, they also label it out. I know a pizza joint down in Milwaukee called Palermo's. A lot of people are familiar with it in our area. But they were at a $20 million business. They went to $250 million. Is because they stopped just using their own name. They said, okay, hey, we're making a bunch of frozen pizzas. Here's like a good, better, best pricing wise. And hey, grocery store that we're selling it to, we'll put your own name on a box and put it out to you. And that way you can have it. And so there's a lot of ways to be able to do that for yourselves. So if Marathon Endurance is selling a lot of this goo, they might say, hey, can we goo? Would you mind putting our name on it? And that way we can sell it. And so it's just another way to be able to just brand yourself out there.
Yeah.
Or like you had said, Abby, you have a bunch of water bottles. Yep. Another way, again, to be able to get people basically being promoters, advertisers of your business.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love swag.
You should. Swag. Everyone loves swag.
Why not?
Yeah. Why not? So you guys are celebrating your 4th year.
Yes.
Right?
We are.
Okay, that's right here,
that's
so you guys can
pretty
see it.
impressive.
Right there. There's the birthday cake. Right there, 4th year. Right now I know features. The socks, 3 buy 3 get 1 free, right, is going on. And I saw that there was another deal going on as well. It was just announced today.
We're gonna have birthday. Where am I? There. We're gonna have birthday deals. If you follow our socials, we're gonna some of them are gonna be polls and like trivia over our 4 years of how many shoes have we sold or crazy stuff like that. I don't actually even know that answer yet. I gotta figure that one out. But we'll have trivia polls and things like that. Otherwise, we'll just have some random giveaways. So if you follow us, we'll hook you up.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks everybody. Anything else you want to say, Carrie Ann?
No.
Or Abby?
Thanks for
Have a
joining
great
us.
weekend, everybody.
Peace. If you need to run, this is your place. And